Raw Talk is opinion-based, and everyone is encouraged to do their own research. Raw Talk, baby, coming back at you. The question this week is, how do you stay optimistic? How are you keeping a positive mindset amongst this mayhem that we call life? Well, I do my best to stay optimistic. It's not always the easiest task, but the more you practice, the easier it gets. I got a couple things that I'm going to cover on this episode. First is being aware of your emotions and thoughts, obviously important. Creating a productive life and kind of what that looks like for me. Finding joy in the process, and then also staying present. When I took some time to think about truly how I stay optimistic, those were the main things that popped into my head. So I wanted to go into a deeper layer on all those. And to start off, the being aware of your thoughts and emotions. This one is critical to start with because if we're not looking at our own thought processes and emotions, then maybe we're being pessimistic and we're not even realizing it. And we're just living that negative mentality, living in that negative realm of mentality. So first, we must acknowledge our thoughts. We must acknowledge our emotions. And then that's our very first step into learning how to find optimism in life. Because if we can't look at it through a clear lens and accept the hard truths that are in front of us, then how are we supposed to make any sort of process? So we're all going to have highs and lows of emotions within life, and that's normal. Look, as positive as I want to be, not every day is hunky-dory. Sometimes I have those hard days just like we all do, but that's okay because we have to experience all these emotions, and it's okay for us to be feeling a sad emotion or a remorseful emotion. There's a lesson to be learned in that, so we have to allow that to happen, allow those feelings to come and go, and that's part of the life process. So it's okay if you're feeling low. Let's just acknowledge it. Let's try to figure out why, and let's keep moving forward with our day because too often one bad moment can turn into a snowball of bad thoughts, and then all of a sudden a day can be consumed by negative thoughts because of one thing that was not pleasant, but then we hyper focused on it for no reason. And maybe we didn't even realize we were doing that. I've done that in the past too, and I'm just having a day where I'm like, being poopy pants. But yeah, so let's acknowledge it. It's okay if we're feeling low. We can acknowledge that and continue to move forward. And that leads me to be willing to accepting hard truths. When you're really being honest about your emotions and your thought process, you have to accept those hard truths sometimes where you might be thinking about stuff in an incorrect way. And honestly, sometimes it's difficult to accept that we were doing it wrong. So that's what I mean by accepting hard truths. You're going to have to be willing to look at things through a different lens because if you're not happy most of the time or you're not finding joy in your life most of the time, then more than likely you might have like a skewed perspective. You're focusing your energy on something that really doesn't reap the rewards of your energy of thought process. So that's what I mean by accepting hard truths. You got to be willing to do that when you're looking at your thoughts and emotions. And then if we focus every day and continue to redirect our emotions and feelings, then overall it's going to just become easier and easier. And what I mean by that is even though I am an optimistic person, I'm persistently positive, right? But at the same time, I still have the negative thoughts. I still have negative thoughts that creep in or just things that I know is not healthy or gossip. Like I'm thinking some gossip and this and that. I can think it, I just don't say it. So what we do when we have these negative thoughts and we are being aware so we notice them, talking about affirmations and all that stuff in previous episodes, you got to just redirect. And then once you continue to redirect, and then it just becomes like second nature. And then all of a sudden you're picking, oh, that was not the best thought. Let me redirect that. Or if I'm feeling anxious for something, right? Like I'm anxious to go do something or come record, I try to redirect that energy from feeling anxious to feeling excited about something. So really fun stuff there. we got to stay aware of our thoughts and emotions. Next point is to create a productive life. So I can only speak for myself, but I know that my mood is much better when I'm having a productive day opposed to a day where I'm doing nothing all day. And honestly, it's okay to have one day where you do nothing, looking at your phone all day, playing video games all day, whatever. But it's when that turns into 2 days or turns into 3 days. That's when my mood, I can notice that it drops. When I've had multiple lethargic days in a row, it is productive to have at least one. Give yourself a break every once in a while. That is being productive. But a couple things that I just wanted to point out that looks like a productive day for me. And this is different for everybody. But personally, this is a great productive day for me. So making the bed when I wake up, just tidy it up a little bit. That way, every time I look into my bedroom, it's clean, it's well kept. I want to get physical activity in. I want to walk a couple miles. I want to do the stairs. I want to swim. I try to do that as frequently as possible. I feel the best when I am. That's being productive. Keeping a clean house, keeping clean clothes. It's just like making the bed. I'm respecting everything. I live in this household. I respect it. It's like a tradition. I'm honoring where I live by keeping it clean. I'm honoring what I'm wearing by keeping it clean. And who doesn't love a fresh smelling man or lady out there? Anyone who's smelling fresh and clean and keeping it nice, come on. There's a different feeling and energy to your whole existence if you're keeping it nice and tidy. Have a hobby that you love. For me, it is a lot of this type of recording and creating, and I love to put a message out there. That's something that's important to me. Whatever your hobby is, it could be woodworking, it could be playing card games. Like, find something that you have some passion for, and that way you're going to get around people that have similar passions too, and then that way you could just build that energy within your life. I also love to dance and listen to music. That helps me not take things so seriously. And honestly, music is life in so many ways. Whether I'm sad, whether I'm happy, music, you're always there for me. And I appreciate you for that. The rhythm of my soul. I was doing a lot of freestyling today. I got a mic tatted on my chest. Music is so important to me. It helps me just find the right emotion, and it helps me to express myself. Calling people I care about, talking to them on the phone. If I can't see them in person, let's talk to them on the phone. My family, my friends, I love you all so much. My girl, you're amazing. And then not taking life too seriously. There is a lot going on, but we have to find some joy in things, and they can't just be super serious all the time. So just try to take it lighthearted, like the whole dancing to music thing. Get goofy. Who cares if people think you look goofy? It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. The only thing that matters is how you feel about yourself in here, and just get comfortable feeling goofy. Let's not take it so seriously. And then obviously another thing that helps create a productive day for me is acting immediately. How will acting immediately change your life? I hope that you've been doing that. 3 to 5 seconds. Let's make some decisions and make them fast. That has changed my life. Obviously, I got to do the 9 to 5 as well, but those are some things that are within a productive life for me. Finding joy in the process. We all need to challenge ourselves so we can fail and learn. It's part of the process. When you're committed and dedicated to a process, that's where you're going to succeed. So you have to be willing to challenge yourself, fail at it, and then figure out how to do it better. Like, even if it's a thought process, how you're looking at something, how you're approaching a conversation, how you're trying to tackle a challenge within your life. Like, let's dissect this. And this is where we're going to succeed, is by staying consistent with this kind of stuff and finding joy in the process, enjoying a challenge, enjoying when things don't go our way. Like, yeah, that's right. Good. I'm prepared for this. I'm prepared for it to not work out because I've done that before. I'm ready for this. And being consistent, doing it every single day, finding joy in it. Like when I was going through the cleaning and all this stuff, things that look like a productive day to me, honestly, I find joy in a lot of that now, doing day-to-day chores. When I was a kid, I couldn't stand doing chores, and I really do enjoy it now. So finding joy in the process is super important. And when you do something that you don't want to do, like sticking to a workout or sticking to a diet, you're going to feel better the next day when you stuck to it. Even though you might like wanted to, you were hungry or you were sore or you weren't feeling it, but you knew you were doing it to better yourself. That's where you're going to find a lot of joy in the process is when you stick to it, and months later you're reaping the benefits, and also showing yourself that you care enough to get it done. I mean, there's a whole list here of things that you can do to enjoy the process. And honestly, when I'm sticking to the process, I'm doing everything to better my life. I feel better when I can just relax finally, look at my phone, but I'm sitting in a nice clean house where I got clean clothes and it's just everything's tidy. It feels really good to relax within that moment and enjoying the present. And that leads me to my last point here on how to stay optimistic. One big thing for me has been staying present and enjoying the now. And I'm really just going to reference a book here that really helped me see all this. That's The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Again, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. This is a super quick read. It doesn't take too much time. It's like less than 300 pages, but it really just goes over, how can I simplify it? We all have an ego. Our egos get attached to circumstances in our life because we want to have a definition of who we are. And circumstances can come and go within cycles, and every cycle inevitably will end in life. And generally, if we are feeling down or depressed or something, it's because our ego is attached to a cycle that's already passed, or it's attached to a cycle that we want to begin, a future that we want to create. And our ego is not centralized in the now, in the present. So when you can truly focus on, like me in this moment in this studio by myself, like this is such a good moment. When I was on this walk earlier today, I was enjoying it so much. I was present in the moment. When you're present, you feel life. You can feel the breath. You can hear everything around you. You can feel the life around you. And nothing else is happening other than right now. If you truly think about it, living in the moment is truly living. So just think about that. Definitely read that book, The Power of Now. It's a must read. I'm trying to keep these episodes a little bit quicker, so I'm going to keep it moving on this one. I do have one coming up again next week, and that's about your code. And do you know your code? Do you stick to it? What is your code? But the question this week, how do you stay optimistic? That's a couple things how I stay optimistic and how I keep it moving on the daily. And it's helped bring a lot of light into my life. Thank you so much for all the support here on Raw Talk. It's been a journey. I'm going to do my best to always keep coming at you, staying motivated over here. Much love.